अथा नवमोऽध्यायः राजा 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 गुह्य योगः। श्री भगवानुवाच इदं तु ते गुह्यतमं प्रवक्ष्याम्यनसूयवे ज्ञानं विज्ञानसहितं यजिज्ञात्वा मोक्षयशुभात् राजगुह्यं पवित्रमिदमुत्तमं प्रत्याकुशोपगमं धर्म्यं सुसुखं कर्तुमव्ययम् अश्रद्धधानाः पुरुषो धर्मस्य परन्तप अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते मृत्यु संसारवर्त्मनि मया दत्तमिदं सर्वं जगदव्यक्तमूर्तिना मत्स्थानि सर्वभूतानि न चाहं देशेऽवस्थितः न च मत्स्थानि भूतानि पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम् भूतभृन्न च भूतस्थो ममात्मा भूतभावनः यथाकाशस्थितो नित्यं वायुः सर्वत्र महान् तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि मत्स्थानीत्युपधारय सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकाम् कल्पकुशले पुनस्तानि कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम् प्रकृतिं शिवामवष्टभ्य विसृजामि पुनः पुनः भूतग्राममिमं कृत्स्नमपशं प्रकृतिर्वशात् न च मां तानि कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय उदासीनमसक्तं तेषु कर्मसु मयाध्यकुशेन प्रकृतिः सूयते सचराचरम् हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय जगद्विपरिवर्तते अवजानन्ति मां मूढो मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितं परं भावमजानन्तो मम भूतमहेश्वरम् मोक्षकर्मणो मोक्षज्ञाना विचेतसः राकुशसीमासुरीं चैव प्रकृतिं मोहिनीं श्रिताः महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः भजन्त्यमनसो जिज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम् सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां यतन्तश्च दुरितव्रताः नमस्यन्तश्च मां Bhagavatiya Nitya Yukta Upasate Jnana Yajnana Japyanye Yajanato Mamupasate Ekatavana Britakavana Bahuta Bishivatomukamu Britakavana. Double check. Britakavana. Britakavana Bahuta Bishivatomukamu Aham Graturaham Yajnyaho Svata Hamahama Ushatamu Svata Hamahama Ushatamu Manturo Hamaha Meba Jiyamahama Manturo Hamaha Meba Jiyamahama Manturo Hamaha Meba Jiyamahama Guniraham Manturo Hamaha Meba Jiyamahama Manturo Hamaha Meba Jiyamahama Manturo Hamaha Meba Jiyamahama Manturo Hamaha Meba Jiyamahama Guni Manturo Hamaha Meba Jiyamahama Guniraham Manturo Hamaha Meba Jiyamahama Guniraham Manturo Hamaha Meba Jiyamahama Manturo Hamaha Meba Jiyamahama Guniraham Hutamu Pita Hamasya Jagato Mata Tata Pita Mahaho Pediam Pabitra Mongara Rokasama Yajuraba Cha Katil Palta Prapuho Sakushi Nivasaho Sharanam Suhrit Prabhavaho Pralayaho Sitanam Nitanam Bijamabhyayamu Tapamiyahama Ham Vaishwam Nigrihuna Mutus Rijamicha Amritam Jaiva Muritiushicha Sada Sakucha Hamal Traividya Mam Somapaho Putapapa Yajinyai Rishitava Subhagatim Praltayanute Te Punuya Masadia Suranudra Loka Mashinanuti Suranudra Loka Mashinanuti Divyanu Divi Devapoganu Te Tam Pukutva Survagalokam Vishalam Kushrinue Punuye Maltyalokam Vishanati Evam Trayi Taimamanu Prapanuna Gatam Kama Lapanute Ananya Sechinu Tayanuto Mam Ye Chanaho Pariyupasate Teshwam Nitya Piyukutanam Yogaku Shwe Mam Pahamyaham Yapyanya Devata Bhagata Yajanute Shradutayanu Vitaho Tepi mameba kaunateya yajana vitipul bakam. Aham hi sarvayajinyanam Pogata cha prapureva cha na tu mama pija nanati tatuvena tasujya banati te yanati devabrata devana pitri devana pitri devana pitri devana pitri Devana Pitri Devana Pitri Niyanti Devana Pitri Niyan Devana Pitri Niyanati Pitri Vrataha Putani Yanati Putajya Yanati Madhyajinopi Mama Pataram Pushipam Palam Teyam Pataram Pushipam Palam Teyam Yo Me Pakatiya Prayakuchati Tadaham Pakatiyu Paharita Pakatiyu Paharita Mashinami Prayata Manaho Yatakaro Shri Yadashinasi Yajuju Hoshri Tadasi Yatu Tapasyasi Kaunuteya Tatu Kuru Shiva Madai Panomo Shupha Palai Revam Mokushiase Kaimapanu Tanai Ho Samnya Sayoga Yukuta Tama Bimukuto Mamopa Ishyasi Samoham Saiva Puteshu Na Me Tubeshu Sati Na Puriyaho Ye Pajananti Tu Mam Pagatiya Mayi Deshu Japiyahamu Api Jatusudura Jaro Pajate Mamananya Pak Sa Tureva Sa Manatabiyaho Samyagabhya Vasito Hi Saho Kushiparam Pavati Taimatama Shashivakachanati Nikakachati Kaunuteya Pratijanihi Na Me Pakataho Pranosyati Mam Hi Paita Vyapashritya Yapi Siyuho Papayonayaho Na Mam Hi Paita Vyapashritya Yapi Siyuho Papayonayaho Satriyo Vaishyas Tata Shudra Satapi Yanati Param Katim Kim Punaibra Hamanoho Punuyo Pakata Rajaishoyas Tata Anityamasu Kam Lokamimam Prapya Pajasava Mam Manumana Pava Madhupakato Madhyaji Mam Namasukuru Mame Vaishyasi Yukutu Vaiva Matamanam Mataparayanoho. Make sure. Yukutu Vaiva Mata Tatasaditi Shrimad Bhagavad Gita Supanishatusu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Sutras Shri Krishna Arjuna Sambad Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yogo Navamotyayah. The Holy One said, "Now I will tell thee that art without envy, that most mysterious knowledge, along with experience, knowing which thou wilt be free from evil. This is a royal science, a royal mystery, highly cleansing, directly apprehensible, consistent with the sacred laws, easy to practice, imperishable. Those persons, O chastiser of fools, who have no faith in this sacred doctrine, not attaining to me, return to the path of this world that is subject to destruction. This entire universe is pervaded by me in my unmanifest form. All entities are in me, but I do not reside in them, nor yet are all entities in me. Behold my divine power, supporting all entities and producing all entities. Myself doth not reside in entities. As the great and ubiquitous atmosphere always occupieth space, understand that all entities reside in me in the same way. All entities, O son of Kunti, attain to my nature at the close of a kalpa. I create them again at the beginning of a kalpa. Regulating my own nature, I create again and again this whole assemblage of entities, which is plastic in consequence of its subjection to nature. Those acts, however, O Dhananjaya, do not fetter me, who sitteth as one unconcerned, being unattached to those acts. Through me, the overlooker, primal nature produceth the mobiles and immobiles. For this reason, O son of Kunti, the universe passeth through its rounds. Not knowing my supreme nature of the great Lord of all entities, ignorant people of vain hopes, vain acts, vain knowledge, confounded minds, wedded to the delusive nature of asuras and rakshasas, disregard me, that hath assumed a human body. But high-souled ones, O son of Brita, possessed of divine nature, and with minds directed to nothing else, worship me, knowing me to be the origin of all entities and indestructible. Always glorifying me, striving with firm bows, bowing down to me with reverence and ever devoted, they worship me. Others again, performing the sacrifice of knowledge, worship me as one, as distinct, as pervading the universe in many forms. I am the Vedic sacrifice, I am the sacrifice enjoined in the Smritis, I am Swata, I am the mendicant produced from herbs, I am the mantra, I am the sacrificial libation, I am the fire, and I am the offering. I am the father of this universe, the mother, the creator, the grandsire, the thing to be known, the means by which everything is cleansed, the syllable the rik, the saman, and the rik, the saman, and the yajus. The goal, the supporter, the lord, the onlooker, the abode, the refuge, the friend, the source, the destruction, the support, the receptacle, and the indestructible seed. I give heat, I produce and suspend rain. I am immortality and also death. And I am the existent and the non-existent, O Arjuna. They who know the 3 branches of knowledge also drink the soma juice, and whose sins have been cleansed, worshipping me by sacrifices, seek admission into heaven. And these attaining to the sacred region of the chief of the gods, enjoy in heaven the celestial pleasures of the gods. Having enjoyed the celestial world of vast extent, upon exhaustion of merit they enter the mortal world. It is thus that they who accept the doctrines of the 3 and wish for objects of desire obtain going and coming. Those persons who, thinking without directing their minds to anything else, worship me, of those that are always devoted, I make them gifts and preserve what they have. Even those devotees who, endued with faith, worship other godheads, even they, O son of Kunti, worship me alone irregularly. I am the enjoyer and also the lord of all sacrifice. They, however, do not know me truly, hence they fall off. They whose vows are directed to the Pitris attain to the Pitris. Who direct worship to the inferior spirits called Puts attain to Puts. They who worship me attain even to myself. They who offer me with reverence leaf, flower, fruit, water, that offer with reverence I accept from him whose self is pure. Whatever thou doest, whatever castest, eatest, whatever drinkest, whatever givest, whatever austerities thou performest, manage in such a way, O son of Kunti, that it may be an offering to me. Thus mayest thou be free from the fetters of action having good and evil fruits. With self-endued with renunciation and devotion, thou wilt be released and will come to me. I am alike to all creatures. There is none hateful to me, none dear. They however, that worship me with reverence are in me and I also in them. If even a person of exceedingly wicked conduct worshipeth me without worshipping anyone else, he should certainly be regarded as good, for his efforts are well directed. He soon becometh a virtuous soul and attaineth to eternal tranquility. Know, O son of Kunti, that none devoted to me is ever lost. For, O son of Pritha, even they who may be of simple birth, women, Vaishyas, and also Shudras, even they resorting to me attain to the supreme goal. What then of holy Brahmanas, and royal saints that are my devotees? Having come to this transient and miserable world, be engaged in my worship. Fix thy mind on me, be my devotee, my worshipper, bow to me, and thus making me thy refuge and applying thyself to abstraction, thou wilt certainly come to me. Namaste. Divashiti dasya varima vi paprata inudram na mahuna prithvi jana prati pi masutu vishiman jalshino nui pia jalshvo nui pia pi masutu vishiman jalsho nui pia pi masutu vishiman jalsho nui pia tapaho shishi te vajram teja se na bamsagaho so alnobo na nadiyaho samudriyaho prati gripunoti vishrita varimapiho inudraho somasya pitaye purisho yate sanatasa yutma 오자사 바나시아테 드밤 다미느드라 발바땀 나 보자세 마호 그리무 너시야 달마너미라지아시 브라 비리에너 데바타티 제키테 비시바스마 우그라흐 갈마노에 부로히타흐 사 이드바네 나마시우 필바자시아테 나마시우 필바자시아테 자루 자네슈 브라부루바노 에 이누드리야무 브리쇼 차는둘팔 차는 둘파바띠 하리아또 브리쇼 구슈에 메너 테남 마카바 야디누바띠 사 이누마하니 사미타니 마지마나 브리노티 그리노티 유트마 오자사 자네피아흐 아타 자나 시라드다 타티 드비슈이 마타 이느드라야 바제람 지카니 크나테 바타무 사히 시라바시우흐 사다나니 그리뜨리마 구슈이마야 브리타나 오자사 비나샤야느 지오팀시 그리누 바느나 브리카누이 야지야베바 수크라투흐 살타바 아빠흐 스리자트 다나야 마나흐 소마파 바느네스투 델반자 마히 델반자 하리 바느다나슈루다 그리티 야미실터 사허 사라타요 야 이느드라 때나 뜨바 깼다 아 다푸누 바느띠 불너야흐 아프라쿠 슈이탐 바수 비팔 슈이 하스타요라 셔를함 하스타요라 셔를함 사하스타누비 슈루토 다테 아브리타 소바타 소나 깔들이 비슷하누 슈 깔들이 비슷하누 슈때 그라타바 이누드라 부라야흐. Wow. And though even in this heaven's wide space and earth that spread them out, nor heaven nor earth may be in greatness in the last match, awful and very mighty, causing woe to men, he whets his thunderbolt for sharpness as a bull. Like as the watery ocean, so doth he receive the rivers spread on all sides with their ample width. He bears him like a bull to drink soma juice, and will, as warriors from of old, be praised for might. Thou swayest, Indra, all kinds of great manly power, so as to bend, as 'twere, even that famed mountain down. Foremost among the gods is he, through hero might, set in the band the strong one, for each arduous deed. He only in the wood is praised by worshippers, when he shows forth to men his own fair Indra power. A friendly bull is he, a bull to be desired, when Makhavan auspiciously sends forth his voice. Yet verily the warrior in his vigorous strength stirreth up with his might great battles for mankind. And men have faith in Indra, the resplendent one, what time he hurleth down his bolt, his dart of death. Though famed for glory and with strength increased on earth, he with great might destroys the dwellings made with art. He makes the lights of heaven shine forth secure. He bids exceeding wise the floods flow for his worshipper. Drinker of Soma, let thy heart incline to give. Bring thy base hitherward, O thou who hearest praise. Those charioteers of thine best skilled to draw the rain, the rapid sunbeams, Indra, lead thee not astray. Thou bearest in both hands treasure that never fails. The famed one in his body holds unvanquished might. O Indra, in thy members many powers abide, like wells surrounded by the ministering priests. Tadedakachan Satram Chatulviyu Hamitya Piti Yate Heyam Duhokamana Gatamu. duhokamati tumapapogena divahitam na heapakushwe paltate paltamanam cha subaku shonue pogaru tamiti na tatakushononu tare heyatama padyate tasma diadeva nagatam duhokam tadeva kushipa terakalipam yoginam Glishinati. Just make sure. Glishinati. Nataram Pratipataramu Tadeva Heyatama Padyate. The pain which is not yet come is the avoidable. The pain which is past and has been spanned up by experience cannot stand on the side of the avoidable. The present is mounted on its own moment of being experienced. So in the next moment it cannot come under the category of the avoidable. Therefore that pain which is not yet come afflicts the yogi alone who is similar to the eyeball, but afflicts no other enjoyer. Simply that stands on the side of the avoidable. Therefore the cause of that only which is really said to be the avoidable is specified. The system is the same system is set forth in its 4 divisions. That which is to be escaped is pain yet to come. Pain past, that is transferred beyond experience, cannot properly be called a thing to be escaped. And present pain in its own moment has attained experience, so it cannot at the next moment be so changed that it can be escaped. Consequently, only that pain which is yet to come is that which hinders the yogin only, who is like an eyeball, but not any other perceiver. Only this pain becomes so changed that it may be escaped. Namaste. Tasmadya deva heamitiu jyate tasyaiva karanam pratinildishyate Drashaturi Dirishya Yoho Samyogo Heahetuho Drashaturi Dirishya Yoho Samyogo Heahetuho Drashata Buduteho Pratisambedi Purushoho Dirishya Buduti Satavoparutoho Buduti or Buduki Satavoparutoho Buduti Satavoparutoho Salve Taimaho Tadetadu Dirishya Mayasakanata Manui Kalipam Tadetadu Dirishya Mayasakanata Manui Kalipam Tadetadu Dirishya Mayasakanata Manui Kalipam Samnitima. Whoa, wow. What the hell is that? Matro. Okay. Samnitima Dropakari Dirishyatavana Samnitima Dropakari Dirishyatavana. Okay, there's the alternative. Samnitima Duropakari di Samnitima Duropakari Dirishyat Bena. Okay, na pa. Okay, they skipped it. Sivam Pavati Purushasya. Number 2. Sivam Dirishiru Pasya. Sivam Minaho Anupavakaima Vishoya. Anupavakaima Vishoyatama Pananam. There's number 3. Alternative. Pananamasya. Anupavama. Anupavakaima. Anupavakaima Vishoyatama Pananamasya. Okay. Anupavakaima Vishoyatama Pananamasya. Yataho. Anya Svarupeno. Anya. It's number 4. Nyarudasya. Anyarupena. Okay, number 5. No. Pratipanamanya Svarupapra. Wow. Pratipanamanya Svarupaprati. Pratipanamanya Svarupaprati. Pratipanamanya Svarupaprati. Labhatam Tamakam. Pratilabhata Tamakam. Pratipanamanya Svarupaprati Labhata Tamakam. Almost. Pratipanamanya Svarupapra. Pratipanamanya Svarupaprati Labhata Tamakam. Pratipanamanya Svarupaprati Labhata Tamakam. Pratilabhata Tamakam. Okay. Suvatantarimapi Paral Tatavat Paratantaramu. Paral Tatavat Paratantaramu. Dayoldrigu Daishana Shaktiyoran Nadi Ralta Gritahu. Okay. Dayoldrigu Daishana Shaktiyoran Nadi Ralta Gritahu. Dayoldrigu Daishana Shaktiyoran Nadi Ralta Gritahu. Samyogo Hea Hetul Duhakai. Hea Hetul Duhakasya. Karana Mityaltahu. Tata Jogatamu. Tatu Samyoga Hetu Vivaljana Tasya Dayama Dhyanantiko. Let's make sure it's blurred. This is the best text. All the others are, well, they're all changed. So this is the best version, but it's not printed right. Some of them is not printed. Okay. Okay. Tatasamyoga Hetu Vivalja. Tatasamyoga Hetu Vivaljana Tasya Dayama Dhyanantiko. Duhoka Pratikaraho. Kasmat tuhaka hetoho parihariasya pratikara daishanat tadyatha padalasya pediata ganartha ganartha Patritavam, Patritavam, Patritavam or Patritavam? Patritavam, Patritavam. Patritavam, Pariharaho, Ganartokasya, Padanatishtonam, Padanatishtonam. This is at least 5,000 years old, and the original was certainly lost, and there are many alternatives. I'm pronouncing all of them. Padanatishtonam Padatrano Vya Pahitena Padatra. Padanish. Padatra. Okay. So blurred. Padatra no Vyabahitena Bhatishto Namu Etantraya Etatrayam Etakutrayam Etantrayam. Etatrayam. Bhatishto. Lost my place. Okay. So it's two versions. Etakutrayam or etatutrayam. Etakutrayam, etakutrayam. Yo Veda loke sa tatra pratikara mara papa. Pratikara mara pama. Pratikara mara pamano. Pedajam Tuhakam na punoti Kasmat Tritubo Labata Laba Palabati Sadamatia Diti Tritubo Labati. Okay. Tritubo Palabati Sadamatia Diti Palabati Samaltia Diti. And it's missing. Alright, so we're gonna rely on this text. This is another version. And yeah, I don't have any choice here. Tatrapi tapakasya rajasaho Satvameva tapyam tapyamu. It's weird here. Kasmat tapikriyayaho Kaimasutaba, Kaimasutatevat, Kaimasutatevat. Okay. Satave, Kaimanui, Tapikriya, Na Parinomini, Na Parinomini, Nishikri, Nishikriye, Kushwetarajinye. Dashita Vishoyatavat. That's what it looks like. Dashita Vishoyatavat Satave. Okay. Satave. Do. So this one seems like it's divided. So it's gonna be two versions. Daishitu Vishoya Tavat. Okay. Daishita Vishoyatavat Satave. Do. Tapyamane Tadagara Nuroti Purushopianu Tapyat Purushopianu Tapyata. It's number one alternative. Shonu, Tapishonu, Tapishonu Tapyata. Second version. Iti. And there's number two alternative. Dirishyate. All right. The conjunction of the perceiver and the perceivable is the cause of the avoidable. The perceiver is the Purusha, who is the reflective knower of the intellect. The perceivable is all the characteristics present in the intellective essence. So this perceivable, like a lodestone by its perceptibility. So this perceivable, like a lodestone by its perceptibility, becomes the helping mate owing to its direct proximity to its lord, the Purusha, who is the external form of perceptivity. By obtaining the nature of the sphere of the active perception, as it is accomplished in its own nature like iron, it becomes of the nature obtained from that of the other by reflection. Although it is independent, yet it becomes dependent on the other, because it fulfills the interests of that other. The conjunction of the powers of the pure perceptivity and the perceiving instrument brought about by the beginningless purposefulness is the cause of the avoidable, that is, the cause of pain. This is the meaning. So it has been said that this complete remedy of pain must come from the full avoidance of the cause of that conjunction. Why? Because the prevention of the avoidable cause of pain is seen. This is as follows. The sole of a foot has the capacity of being pierced through, and the thorn has the power of pricking. So the prevention consists in not placing the foot on the thorn, or in placing it separated by a shoe. He who knows this trio in the world by adopting the prevention mentioned in this connection does not get pain born of the prick. Why? On account of the faculty of realizing the threefold truth. Here also the active energy has the afflictive power, and the essence indeed is to be afflicted. Why? Because the verb tap, rests, tapu, to afflict, rests in its object. So the act of afflicting exists in the object, essence. It cannot exist in the unchanging inactive knower of the field on account of his possession of the represented objects. When, however, the essence is afflicted, in compliance with that appearance, the Purusha is reflexively afflicted. Wow. Therefore, the cause of the same thing that is described as something to be escaped is once more specified. The correlation of the seer and the object of sight is the cause of that which is to be escaped. The seer is the self-conscious by reflection of the thinking substance. Objects of sight are all external aspects, which have struck upon the sattva of the thinking substance. So this same object of sight, giving its aid like a magnet by the mere fact of being near, becomes, by reason of its being an object of sight, the property of the self, its proprietor, whose nature is seeing. It becomes changed into an object upon experience operates, insofar as it has the power of another. Having acquired being, although self-dependent, by serving one not itself, dependent on one not itself. The correlation of these two, the power of seeing and the power by which one sees, is from time without beginning and is effective for the purposes. The cause of that which is to be escaped, in other words, the cause of pain. And in this sense it has also been said, by avoidance of the cause of correlation with this, the antidote for pain will be absolute. Why? Because we know the antidote to prevent the cause of pain. For example, we know that the liability to scratches inheres in the sole of the foot. The power to scratch inheres in the thorn. The prevention is either by not stepping with the foot upon the thorn, or by stepping is covered by a foot protector. Whoever understands these three has begun the antidote, therefore, and is not exposed to the pain from scratches. Why? Because of his power to apperceive the threefold character. And to resume the argument, the sattva, the castigator, comes under the ownership of rajas, the castigator. Why? Since it stands in a passive relation to the activity of the castigator. The act of castigation affects the sattva as a passive object, but does not affect the immutable and inactive soul, since it has objects shown to it. But if the sattva be under castigation, the self, it appears, conforming itself to the form of this, is itself castigated along with the sattva. Sorry, I was harassed by some random person before, so I'm now a little shaken. First time. First time for everything. Dirishya Savaru Pamuchyate Praka Shakriya Satiti Shilam Pudenu Driya Demakam Poga Babai Galtam Poga Babai Galtam Dirishyam Praka Shashilam Satvamu Kriya Shilam Rajaho like blur Rajaho Sthiti Shilam Tama Iti Ete Gunaha Parasaparo Parakata Paravi Parasaparo Parakata Paravi Pagaha Parinominaha Samyoga. Oof. This is blur. Samyoga, Biyoga Taimano, okay. Samyoga, Biyoga Taimano, okay. Itaretaropa, Shrayanopa, Jitamultayaho. Parasaparanga, Kitube, Bien, boost, really long. Parasaparanga, Kitube, Bien, Sampi, Pinena. Itaretara, Pashrayano. Itareta, itareta ropa, itareta ropa shraye nolpa aljita, itareta ropa shraye nolpa aljita, no, itareta ropa shraye nolpa aljita multayaho, parasparang gad, parasparang gat gang, parasparang gang, Gitve pia sampinna shakati prabhipaga sutuliya jatiya shakati pedanupatinaho. This is going to take a little while. Parasparang gat, parasparang gang, parasparang gang, gitve parasparang gang, gitve pia sampin, parasparang gang, gitve pia sampinna shakatira pratipaga sutuliya jatiya shakati pedanupatinaho. Parasparang gang, gitve parasparang gang, gitve parasparang gang, gitve pia sampinna. 1 second. Parasparang gang, gitve pia sampinna shakati prabhipaga sutuliya jatiya shakati pedanupatinaho. Good enough. Pratana velaya mupadashita samnitana. Pratana velaya mupadashita samnitana. Kunatvapi ja vyaparamadrena pratananan tanumita stitaho. Pratananan talnui tanumita stitaho. Siti pratananan talnuita pratananan talnui tanumita stitaho. Siti. One more. Pratananan talnui tanumita stitaho. Purushortha kaltavyataya. Prayukta samaltyaho. Samnitima tropakare. Pakarino yasya yasukanta manui kalpaho. Samnitima tropakarino. Samnitima tropakarino yasyano yasukano tamanui kalpaho. Samnitima tropakarino yasuka. Samnitima tropakarino yasukano tamanui kalpaho. Almost. Samnitima tropakarino. Samnitima tropakarino yasukanata. Samnitima tropakarino yasukanata. Yasukanata manui kalpaho. Samnitima tropakarino yasukanata manui kalpaho. Samnitima tropakarino yasukanata manui kalpaho. Samnitima tropa. This tastes better. Samnitima tropakarino yasukanata manui karil. Samniti ma duropakari no yasukana damanui manui karipaho. Samniti ma duropakari no yasukana damanui karipaho. Samniti ma duropakari no Samniti ma duropakari no yasu Samniti ma duropakari no yasukana damanui karipaho. Samniti ma duropakari no Samniti ma duropakari no yasukana damanui karipaho. I pronounced it right. Samniti ma duropakari no yasukana damanui karipaho. Samniti ma duropakari no yasukana damanui manui. Samniti ma duropakari no yasukana damanui manui. Samniti ma duropakari no yasukana damanui karipaho. Good enough. Pratyaya mantare noika tamasya. Pratyaya manutare noika. Pratyaya manutare noika. Pratyaya manutare. Pratyaya manutare noika. Pratyaya manutare noika tamasya. Pratyaya manutare noika. Pratyaya manutare noika. Pratyaya manutare noika tamasya. Pratyaya manutare noika tamasya. Prititi manu paitamanaho. Pratana shabuda vajya. Pavanati. Ettadadrishya miti ujyate. Ettadadrishya miti ujyate. Ettadadrishya. A little blur. Tadetadu bhutanudriyatmakam. Bhutapavena prithivya Sukashimastulena Parinamate. Tatendriya pavena Tatendriya pavena Shrotradina Sukashimastulena Parinamata Iti Tatutu Na prayojana mapi tu prayojana prayojana murari kritya pravaitata iti bhoga pavaigai tam hi tadadrishyam purushasyati. Tatrashita nishita Guna Sivarupa Vatharana Mabhipaga Pananam. Tatrashita nishita Guna Sivarupa Vatharana Mabhipaga Pananam. Pogotuha Sivarupa Vatharana Pavaigam. Pavaiga or Pavaigam? Tatrashita Sivarupa. Yeah. Sivarupa Sivarupa Bhataranama Pavaiga 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 Iti Pavaiga Duvayorati Rikta Maniadil Daishanam Sivarupa Bhataranama Pavaiga Sivarupa Bhataranama Pavaiga Iti Duvayorati Rikta Maniad Daishanam Duvayorati Rikta Maniad Daishanam Duvayorati Rikta Maniad Daishanam Nasati Tata Jogatam Ayam Tu Kalutrishu Gunueshu Kaitari Shiva Kaitari Ja Purushwe Tulia Jatiye Tulia Jatiye Jatulte Tatakriya another really long Tatakriya Sagushiniu Paniyamananu Saivapavanu Papanananu Pashyanana Daishanama Nyaku Chankata. Alright. Tatakriya Sakushiniyu Paniyamananu Saivapavanu Papanananu Pashyanana Daishanama Manyaku Changakata Iti Tatakriya Sakushiniyu Paniyamanata Nana Saivapavanu Papanananu Pashyanana Daishanama Manyaku Changakata. How long is this? Tatakriya Sakushiniyu Paniyamananu Saivapavanu Papanananu Pashyanana Daishanama Manyaku Changakata. Tatakriya Sakushiniyu Paniyamananu Saivapavanu Papanananu Pashyanana Daishanama Manyaku Changakata. Tatakriya Sakushiniyu Paniyamananu Saivapavanu Papanananu Tatakriya sakushini upaniyama nana saiva pavanu papanana nanu pasyanana daishana maniaka chakata. Oh, almost. Tatakriya sakushini upaniyama nana Tatakriya sakushini upaniyama nana Tatakriya sakushini upaniyama nana saiva pavanu papanana pasyanana daishana maniaka chakata. Like solving a puzzle. The thing about Sanskrit is once you say it, you can't unsay it. So once you pronounce it, it's good for you. Tatakriya sakushini upaniyama nana saiva. Tatakriya sakushini upaniyama nana saiva pa. Tatakriya sakushini upaniyama nana saiva pavanu papanana pasyanana daishana maniaka changakata. Almost. Tatakriya sakushini upaniyama nana saiva pavanu papanana pasyanana daishana maniaka changakata. Good enough. Iti Da betao poga babagao. Okay, one more. I'll just pronounce it once. Tatakriya sakushini upaniyamana. Tatakriya sakushini upaniyamana no saiva pavanu papanana no pasyanana daishana maniaka changakata. Alright. 3 more tries. I already said it once. Why am I saying it again? Tatakriya sakushini upaniyama nana saiva pavanu papanana no pasyanana daishana maniaka changakata. Tatakriya sakushini upaniyama nana saiva pavanu papanana no pasyanana daishana maniaka changakata. Iti Da betao poga babagao. Buddha-tikri tao, Buddha-ta beba, Vaitamanao, Katam, Purushwe, Vyapadishyate, iti. We're here. Yata, Vijayaho, Parajayo, Ba, Yoda Trishu, little blur. What does it say there? Yoda Trishu, Vaitamanaho, Sivamini, Vyapadishyate, Sa hi Tatapalasya, Pokutati, Evam, Vantamokusho, Buddha beva, Vaitamanao, Purushwe, Vyapadishyate, Sa hi Tatapae, Palasya, Tatapalasya, Pokutati, double check, Tatapalasya, Buddha-tereva, Purushartha parisama putilbandan siddhadaltha pasayo. Purushartha parisama putilbanta siddhadaltha pasayo. Purushartha parisama Purushartha parisama putilbanta siddhadaltha pasayo. Mokusho iti siddhadaltha pasayo. Etena grahanotara no ha pohatatva jiñana pinivesha grahana tara noha. We are here. Etena grahana tara noha pohatatva jiñana pinivesha. Grahana tara noha pohatatva jiñana. Grahana tara noha. Grahana tara noha pohata. Grahana tara noha. Grahana tara noha pohatatva jiñana pinivesha. Grahana tara noha pohatatva jiñana pinivesha. Buddhatao paitamanaha purushwa Buddhatao paitamanaha purushwa tiaromit ropita sadapavaha purushwa tiaropita sadapavaha purushwa tiaropita sadapavaha sa hi tatapalasya pogatati. Okay. See, I do this because this is healing, and healing oneself heals the world. The world changes because of you. So, I'm working on myself. The nature of the perceivable is being described. The perceivable is of the nature of illumination, activity, and inertia. It consists of the realities of the elements and the senses. It is possessed of the interests of experience and emancipation. The essential energy is of the nature of illumination. The active energy is of the nature of activity, and the inner energy is of the nature of inertia. These energies have the partitions of mutual color. They are changeful and possess the characteristics of conjunction and separation. They acquire manifestations by mutual proximate support. Although they have the relation of part and whole, they are the divisions of one united power. They follow the differences of the power of the same and different classes. They show their presence in the providence of the principal factor. Although they have the kindred nature, they are supposed to exist in opposition to the principal factor by each function. They have the power of being employed in obedience to the Purusha's interests. They become beneficial by direct proximity like the lodestone. They gratify the function of one of them without any exciting cause and are called by the term the principal material cause. This is called the perceivable. This consists of the realities of the elements and the senses. As the elemental state, it changes into the subtle and gross earth, etc. Similarly, as the state of the senses, it changes into the subtle and gross ear, etc. This is not purposeless, but it thrives with the set purpose before it, because this perceivable is possessed of the purpose of fulfilling the experience and emancipation of the Purusha. Here the experience consists in the determination of the character of good and evil merits to be inseparable, and the emancipation is the ascertainment of the character of the enjoyer. Beyond these two, there is no other observation. So also it has been said that this, however, suspects some ignorance other than to identify all the manifested phenomena to be present in the three energies, which are the actors and also indeed in the inactive Purusha, the fourth, the same and not yet the same in class and the witness of their actions. How can these two experience in emancipation, which are brought about by the intellect and which exist in the intellect alone, be ascribed to the Purusha? As the victory or the defeat of the soldiers is ascribed to their commander because he is the enjoyer of that fruit, so the bondage and freedom being present in the intellect self are attributed to the Purusha because he is the enjoyer of that fruit. The intellect itself is bound till the non-fulfillment of the Purusha's interests, and it gets free by the completion of that interest. By this it is established that recognition, retention, reasoning, exclusion of illusion, knowledge of the reality, and the determined resolution are present in the intellect, but their existence is falsely attributed to the Purusha, because he is the enjoyer of that fruit. He tells what the object of sight itself is. With the disposition to brightness and to activity and to inertia, and with the elements and the organs as its essence, and with its purpose, experience, and deliberation, the object of sight. The sattva has the disposition to brightness, the rajas has the disposition to activity, the tamas has the disposition to inertia. These aspects, with the separate parts influencing each other, with external aspects in conjunction or in separation, with limitations in extent, brought about by basing them upon an interdependence of one upon another, with separate powers, although in subservience to each other, still unconfused, with conformations according to various disparate and comparate powers, with their presence manifested at the time when they become dominant, with their existence, although subordinate to the dominant, yet from their functional activity inferred as included in the dominant, with their faculties employed as effective for the purposes of the self, with their aid given like that of a magnet, from the mere fact of being near, following without any external cause after a fluctuation of any one of themselves. These aspects are denoted by the word primary cause, and this is called the object of sight. The same object of sight enters into mutation as elements and as organs. As elements such as earth and the others in coarse and in subtle. It enters likewise into mutation as organs such as the organ of hearing. But it is not without an impelling cause. But it is not without an impelling force. On the contrary, it acts only by accepting an impelling force. For the object of sight exists for the sake of the experience and deliberation of the self. Of these, experience is the ascertainment of things with desirable qualities and of things with undesirable qualities, so long as this does not divide. Liberation is the ascertainment of the enjoyer himself. Thus there is no other process of knowing in addition to these two, and in this sense it has been said, but he who has the three aspects which are agents, and in the self which is not an agent, but which is of the same kind in some respects and of a different kind in other respects, sees all the produced states presented to the fourth, the witness of their action. He has no suspicion that there is another kind of knowledge. How is it that these two, experience and liberation made by the thinking substance and existing in the thinking substance only, are attributed to the self? Just as a victory or defeat on the part of actual fighters is ascribed to their commander, for he, as we know, is the experiencer of the result, so bondage and release, existing in the thinking substance only, are ascribed to the self. For he, as we know, has the experience of the results of these. Bondage is of the thinking substance only, and is the failure to attain the purposes of the self. Release is the termination of the purpose of the self. Thus it is that processes of knowing, and processes of retention, and comprehensions of particulars, and removals of faults, and real knowledge and the will to live, existing in the thinking substance, are assumed to exist in the self, for he, as we know, has the experience of the results of these. Okay, 19. Sorry if I'm stuttering. I was harassed, and it's my first time, so I don't know how to deal with it yet. I always watch other streamers being harassed, and I was like, why is she so upset, or why is he so upset? Now I get it. Okay. Dirishyanam. Okay, number 1. Do Gunanam Sivarupa Peda Vatara no Tamidama Rama Rapyate. Sivarupa Peda Vatara no Tamidama Rapyate. Vishesho Vishesho Linga Matra Lingani Vishesho Vishesho Linga Matra Lingani Vishesho Vishesho Linga Vishesho Vishesho Linga Matra Lingani. Is that good enough? One more. Vishesho Vishesho Linga Matra Lingani Gunopai Banui Tatra Ka Shaba Pai Baganu Niuda Ka Pu Yamayo Tatra Ka Shaba Bagu Niuda Ka Tatra Ka Shaba Bagu Tatra Ka Shaba Bagu Niuda Ka Tatra Ka Shaba Bagu Tatra Ka Shaba Bagu Niudaka Tatra Ka Shaba Bagu Niudaka Pumayo Putani Shabdasa Pasharu Paras Saganta Sakanuda Danumatra no Mabi Sheshwanam. It's a little blur here. I want to just double check. Ganuta Shabdasa Pasharu Basakanuta Shabdasa Pasharu Basakanutanu Shabdasa Pasharu Basakanu Shabdasa Pasharu Basakanuta. Okay. Shabdasa Pasharu Para Saganta Saganuta Shabdasa Pasharu Basara Shabdasa Pasharu Para Saganutatan Shabdasa Pasharu Para Saganutatan Tanumatra no Mabishu Visheshwo no. Okay. Shabdasa Pasharu Para Saganutatan Shabdasa Pasharu Para Saganutatan Shabdasa Pasharu Para Saganutatan Matra no Mabishesho no. Almost there. Shabdasa Pasharu Para Saganutatan Shabdasa Pasharu Para Saganutatan Shabdasa Pasharu Para Saganut Shabdasa Pasharu Pasaganuta Shabdasa Pasharu Pasagan Rupara Shabdasa Pasharu Para Saganutatan Matra no Mabishesho no. One more. Shabdasa Pasharu Para Saganutatan Shabdasa Pasharu Para Saganutatan Matra no Mabishesho no. Shabdasa Pasharu Para Saganutatan Shabdasa Pasharu Para Saganutatan Shabdasa Pasharu Para Saganutatan Shabdasa Pasharu Para Saganutatan Matra no Mabishesho no. I mean, I pronounced it right once. I should count. Should I do it again or move on? Alright, one more. Shabuda Spasharu Parasakana Tatanama Nama Vishesho Nam Vishesho Tata Shrotatva Pakucha Tuljihba Kranoni Shrotatva Kucha Jakushul Jihva Kra. Make sure it's a little blur here. Shrotarat Bakachak Shrotarat Jihva Kranani Shrotarat Bakachakushul Jihva Shrotarat Bakacha Shrotarat Bakachakushul Shrotarat Bakachakushul Jihva Kranani Buddhatinudri Yanui Bhagavanui Padapayu Pasataha Nice. Alternative version. Pasyani, so Pasatani. Bhagavanui Padapayu Pasatani. Kaimenu Driyanui Ekadasham Manaho Saibai Tamu Ityeta Nyamita Lakushonot Sya Visheshosya Ityeta Nyasamita Lakushonosya Visheshosya. Almost. Ityeta Nyamita Lakushonosya Visheshosya Ityeta Nyamita Lakushonosya Visheshosya Ityeta Nyasamita Lakushonosya Visheshosya Vishesho Gunona Mesho Yoda Shoda Shako Vishesho Parino Maho Shoda Vishesho Tadyata Shabudatanumatram Spaishatanumatram Rupatanumatram Rasatanumatram Kantatanumatram Jati Ekadvitri Jatuha Pancha Lakushono Ekadvitri Jatuha Pancha Lakushono Ekadvitri Jatuha Pancha Lakushono Shabdadayaho Pancha Vishesho Shashita Shicha Vishesho Smita Matra Shashita Shicha Vishesho Smita Matra Iti Ete Satata Matrasyat Mano Mahataho Shodo Vishesho Pari no Maho Yatatata Parama Visheshwa Pyo Yatatata Parama Visheshwa Pyo Ningagamatram Mahatatavam Tasamina Nate Satatamatre Mahatyatmam Mahatyatman Manyapasataya Mahatyatmanya Vasutaya Vibritati Kashirtho Manupavanati Vibritati Kashirtho Manupavanati Vibritati Kashirtho Manupavanati. Prati samsari jyamana Prati samsari jyamana shicca Tasamina neva Satatamatre Mahatyatmanya Vasutaya Yatataniho Satam Yatataniho Satatam Yatataniho. A different text. Yatataniho Satatam Yatataniho Satatam Niho Sada Sanani Rasabu Rasada Vyagatam Malingam Niho Sada Sananira Niho Sada Sananira Sab Niho Sada Sananira Sada Vyagatam Malingam Niho Sada Sananira Niho Sada Sananira Sab Niho Sada Sananira Sada Vyagatam Malingam Niho Sada Sananira Sab Niho Sada Sananira Sada Vyagatam Malingam. Niho Sada Sananira Sab Niho Sada Sananira Sada Vyagatam Malingam. Pratanam Tatuprati Yanati. Number 1. There's so many alternatives. Not too many, just a few different alternative texts. Jnanati Tatuprati Yanati Deshom Lingagama Taraho Parinomo Niho Satatam Ja Lingaga Parinoma Iti Alingaga Pasat Alingaga Vasatayam Na Purushol To Hetulna Lingaga Vasatayamadao. How long is this? Whoosh. Okay, almost there. Hetulna Linga Hetulna Lingaga Hetulna Lingaga Vasata Yamadao. Hetulna Lingaga Vasata Yamadao. Purushol Tata Karanam Pavatiti Na Tasyaho Purushol Tata karanam bhavati iti na sao purushol takari tati nitya khyayate. Just want to make sure this is not, this is gu, but it could be gu, guri. Number 2, nitya vyakhyayate trayanam svabhavasutha vishesho no madao Devavasutha vishesho no madao purusho tata karanam bhavati sa jalto hetul nimittam karanam bhavati tya nitya khyayate guna sutu Sarvataimanupatino na pratyasutamanyanate nopajayanate vyakati pirevati tanagata vyaya gamavati puti pilgunanu payini pirupa janana payataimaka. There's an alternative. Vyakati pirevati tanagata vyaya gamavati pilgunanu vayani pirupa janana paya taimaka. Vyagati pirevati tanagata vyaya gamavati pilgunana vayini pirupa janana paya taimaka. Vyagati pirevati tanagata Vyagati pirevati tanagata vyaya gamavati pilgunanu vayini pirupa janana paya taimaka. It's almost like skateboarding. It takes like tons of tries to land one trick sometimes. Vyagati pirevati tanagata vyaya gamavati pilgunana vayini pirupa janana paya taimaka. Alright, good enough. And the alternative. Vyagati pirevati tanagata vyaya gamavati pilgunana vayini pirupa jana. Almost. Vyagati pirevati tanagata vyaya gamavati pilgunana vayini pirupa jana paya taimaka. Vyagati pirevati tanagata vyaya gamavati pilgunana vayini pirupa jana paya taimaka. Vyagati pirevati tanagata vyaya gamavati pilgunana vayini pirupa jana paya taimaka. Good enough. Iva pratyavapa sanate Yatha devadattato daridrati kasmat yatosya muri yanate kava iti kavameva maranot tasya daridranam na svaru pahanaditi samaho samathiho lingagamat ramaling lingagamat ramalingasya pratya sananam tatra tatasam sarishtam vivikyate gramana nipuritateho tatha shoda visheshwa lingagamatre samsarishita vivicyanate parinamagramani yamat tatha deshiva visheshweshu bhutana driyanui samsarishitani vivicyanate tatha jogatam purasatat na visheshwapyaha param tatavanamasati tatavanamasati visheshwanam nasati tatavana taraparinomaho tatavana taraparinomaho teshwam tu taimalakushono basata parinoma vyakya yeshionate. Okay. I'm going to start from here. This aphorism is taken up with the purpose of ascertaining the difference of the character of the perceivables, that is, of the energies. The specific, the unspecific, the pure traceable, and the untraceable are the steps of the energies. There, ether, air, fire, water, and earth are the specific forms of the unspecific subtle rudiments, such as sound, touch, light, taste, and smell. Similarly, the ear, the skin, the eye, the tongue, and the nose are the senses of knowledge. The mouth, the hand, the foot, the rectum, and the sex organs are the senses of action. The 11th is the mind, which is omni-objective, that is, fulfills all interests. These are the specific forms of the unspecific egoism. This is the 16-fold specific change of the energies. The 6 unspecifics are the subtle rudiments of The 6 unspecifics are the subtle rudiment of sound, the subtle rudiment of touch, the subtle rudiment of light, the subtle rudiment of water, and the subtle rudiment of earth. These 5 unspecifics are possessed of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 features respectively, such as sound, etc. The 6th unspecific is the egoism only. These are the 6 unspecific changes of the purely existing Great Self. That which is beyond the unspecific and is the purely traceable is the great principle. These all existing in that pure existence, the Great Self, reach their culmination of growth. When they are dissolved, they simply existing in that pure existence, the Great Self pass back to what is neither existing nor non-existing, neither real nor unreal, but not unreal, yet unmanifested, untraceable principle cause. This is their pure traceable change, and that which is neither existing nor non-existing is their untraceable change. In the untraceable state, the Purusha's interest does not become the cause of change, as the purposefulness of the Purusha does not become the cause in the original state of the untraceable. The purposefulness of the Purusha can never be the cause of that. This is not brought about by the Purusha's interest, so it is called eternal. On the other hand, in the beginning of the other three distinctive states, the Purusha's interest becomes the cause. Further, this purposefulness appears in the form of efficient, exciting, and material causes, so he is called non-eternal. The energies, however, following all the characteristics, neither get this appearance nor are they born. They appear to be subject to the characteristics of birth and death, accompanied by the relative qualities pertaining to the past, future, decreasing and increasing manifestations alone. Suppose a person has become poor. Why? Because his cows are dead. His poverty is due simply to the death of his cows, but not to the destruction of himself. Similar is the consideration here. The pure traceable state is next to the untraceable. It is united with that and is distinguished therefrom because the succession is unsurpassed. Similarly, the six unspecifics, being united with the pure traceable, are distinguished from that because the succession of change is regulated. Similarly, the elements and the senses, being united with the unspecifics, are distinguished therefrom. So also it has been said that there is no other lower truth below the specifics. So there is no other elemental change of the specifics. The change of their characteristics, symptoms, and conditions will be described again. The sutra is begun with the intent of determining the various forms of the aspects, the objects of sight, the particularized and the unparticularized, and the resoluble only, and the irresoluble primary matter are the divisions of the aspects. Of these, the elements air and wind and fire and water and earth are the particularized. Of the unparticularized, fine elements, sound and touch and color and taste and smell. Similarly, the organs of the thinking substance are ear and skin and eye and tongue and nose, and the organs of action, voice and hands and feet, and organ of excretion and organ of generation. And as the 11th, the central organ, which has all kinds of things as its intended object. These are the particularized of the unparticularized, which is characterized as having the feeling of personality. This is the 16-fold mutation of the aspects. The unparticularized are six, namely the fine element of sound, and the fine element of touch, and the fine element of color, and the fine element of taste, and the fine element of smell. Thus, as we know, sound and the rest with one or two or three or four or five distinguishing characteristics are five unparticularized. And the sixth is that of which we can only say that it is the feeling of personality. These are the six unparticularized forms of the great thinking substance, of whose being we can only say that it exists. That which is prior to the unparticularized is that of which we can only say that it is resoluble, the great substance. Remaining in this great being, of which all that we can say is that it exists, these unparticularized experience the limit of enjoyment. And reversing the process of creation, they remain in that same great being, of which all that we can say is that it exists, and revert to that which has neither existence nor non-existence, from which both existence and non-existence have been removed, from which non-existence has been removed, to the unphenomenalized and unresoluble primary cause. This is the mutation of these aspects. And that which has neither existence nor non-existence is the mutation which is unresoluble. So the purpose of the self is not the reason for the unresoluble state. Since the fact that the self has a purpose is not known at the beginning as the cause of the state unresoluble, therefore the fact that the self has a purpose is not a cause of this. And since that state is not affected by the purpose of the self, it is called permanent. But at the beginning of the three states that are particularized, the fact that self has a purpose is known to be the cause, and this purpose is known to act as purpose and as efficient cause. Hence this state is called impermanent. But the aspects which conform themselves to all kinds of external aspects neither cease to be nor come into being, but appear as if they had the properties of coming into existence and of passing out of existence by reason of the phenomenalized forms, past and yet to come, going and coming, inseparably connected with the aspects. As for example, we say Devadatta is poor because his cows are dying. Since his poverty is due to the dying of his cows and not to his loss of himself, the parallel applies. That of which we can only say that is resoluble is next to that which is irresoluble. From therein it becomes distinguished from it, since the order is not transgressed. Likewise, the six unparticularized form in that of which we can only say that it is resoluble become distinguished, because the order of mutations is fixed. Similarly, the elements and organs formed in these unparticularized become distinguished, as has been already described. There is no other entity beyond the particularized, so there is no mutation into any other entity beyond the particularized, but their mutation into external aspect and time variation and intensity are to be explained later. One more. Just want to see how long this thing is. That. Okay. Drashito Vyakyatam Tirishyamata Drashito Svarupa Vatara Tara no Tamidama Rapyate. Yeah, cool. Vyakya Svarupa Vatara no Tamidama Rapyate. Svarupa Vata Svarupa Vatara Tamidama Rapyate Drashito Dirishima Draho Shudutopi Shudukopi Pratyayano Pashyaho Dirishimatra Iti Dirikushakatireva Vishesho no Para Murishit Duel Dialtaho Vishesho no Para Murishit Duel Dial Vishesho no Para Murishit Duel Dial Murishit Duel Dialtaho Vishesho no Para Murishit Duel Vishesho no Para Murishit Duel Dialtaho Vishesho no Para Murishit Duel Dialtaho Sa Purusho Buddhuteho Pratisambedi Sa Buddhutelna Sarupo Na Dhyanutam Virupa Iti Na Tabat Sarupaho Kasmat Jinyata Vishoyat Jinyata Vishoyat Vat Parinomini Jinyata Vishoyat Vat Parinomini Hi Buddhatiho Dasya Sheja Vishoyo Dasya Sheja Tasya Shicha Vishoyo Gabadil Kato Dilva Gabadil Kato Dilva Gabadil Kato Dil Gabadil Kato Dilva. Sorry. Gabadil Kato Dilva. Number 1. Gabadil Kato Dishicha. Gabadil Kato Dishicha. Jinyata Shiche. Jinyata Shija Jinyata Shijati. So it's different. Jinyata Shiche. Jinyata Shiche. Jinyata Shijati. Jinyata Shijati. Jinyata Shijati. Parinamitabam Tashayati. Sada Jinyata Vishoyatavam Tu Purushasya Parinamitabam Pariti Payati. Kasmat Nahi Buddhitishicha Nama Purusha Vishoyashicha Syadagrihita. Number 2. Ooh, I skipped. I have to go back. Dilshata. Diljinyata. Diljinyata. Gavatil Kato. Gavatil Kato Diljinyati. Gavatil Kato Diljinyata. Okay. Gavatil Kato Diljinyata. Gavatil Kato Diljinyata Jinyata Shichati. Parinamitabam Tashayati. Sada Jinyata Vishoyatavam Tu Purushasya Parinamitabam Pariti Payati. Kasmat Nahi Buddhitishicha Nama Purusha Vishoyashicha Syadagrihita. Syadu Pahita Prahita. Syadha. Jati Sititam. Alright, so I'll need to check. Alternative. These are other versions. I don't use them that often, just I use them to double check. There are a few different versions of the Yoga Sutras. It was written more than 5,000 years ago, and since the original is left, I have to read all of them. Okay. Saibata Puru Tapa. Okay, cool. This one is the most modern text. It's not that reliable for me because they don't have alternatives. It's another version. There are no different versions. There's only one version, but the text, some of the texts were altered over time. Okay. And if this one doesn't have the alternative version, then I'll go with the original. Not, there's no such thing as the original. Okay, here we go. So we were at here. Siad Bahita Prahita. Siadagrihita. That's one version, and what I just said was the other one. Alright, this one has that. Siada Siadvahita Prahita. Siad. Tadatmaka Pratipak Shudito Pratya. This one doesn't even seem to have that. Wow. Bhutisija Sada Jinyata Vishayatavam Tatashicha Parina Mituvamiti Kincha Paraita Buddhitiya Samatiyaka Ritva Tisavaitaho Purusho Iti Tata Vata Saivaita Dhyavasa Yat Katava Triguna Buddhitis Triguna Tavada Chatana Chatanati Gunanam Tupadarashita Purusho Iti Atona Purusho Azatu Talhi Paru Virupa Iti Na Tianutam Virupaho Kasamat. Yeah, wow. That's why I don't rely on this one, because it seems to have skipped that section. Yadagrihi Purusha Vishayam Purusha, where is Purusha? Purusha Sada Chinyata Vishayatavam So it's a whole different version. Alright, I'll just say the two different versions. Siadahi, siadahi ta prahita. Siadahi ta prahita. Siad bahita prahita. Alright, that's good enough. And number 3. 짠. 따, 제. So this one skips it. Okay. 그리히다 jati siddham purushasya sada jinyati jinyata vishoyatvam tatashicha parino mitavamiti kim cha parartha buddhitiho samadhyakaritvat sivarthaho purusho iti tata saivartha dhyava saivartha dhyava saivartha dhyava sayat yakatva bhagatiriguno saivartha dhyava sayat saivartha dhyava sayat saivartha dhyava sayaka saivartha dhyava sayakatva gatiriguno. So that's one version. This could be gu or gu. Gu or tu. What do other people have? Saivartha dhyavasaya katva. This one doesn't even have it. Triguna. Okay. And I'll just say both. Saivartha dhyavasaya katva tati. Saivartha dhyavasaya katva triguna. 부드티스들이 구너뜨바다 쨌다 부드티스들이 구너뜨바다 쨌다네티 부드티스들이 구너뜨바다 쨌다네티. Make sure the sound is on. Testing. Okay, cool. 구너남 두 바드라실터 부르쇼 이티아토 나 사루바허 아스투 달히 비루바 이티 나 디아느담 비루바허 가스마트 슈드토피아사오. Pratyayamupashyo yataho pratyayam baudhamanupashyat baudhamanupashyati tamanupashyanana tadat tamanupashyanana tadatmapi tadatmaka iva pratyavapasate tata Chokutamu apirino mini hi pokutiri shakutira prati samkrama cha parino mitialte prati samkrana deva tadu burititi manu patati tasya shicha prabhuta chaitanu nyo graharupaya. Okay. Prabhuta chaita nyo pagraharupaya. Buddhiti buddhitera nukarama tarataya. Buddhiti vishishito. Buddhiti vishishito. Buddhiti buddhitera nukarama tarataya. Buddhiti vishishito. Buddhiti buddhitya vishishito. Hi jnana buddhiti ditya khyayate. Jnana buddhiti ditya khyayate. Okay. Start from here. The perceivable has been described. Now it is taken up with the purpose of ascertaining the character of the perceiver. The perceiver is the perceptivity itself. Although pure, he becomes the agent of notion. The perceptivity itself means the power of the pure perceptivity, that is, untouched by attribute. This is the meaning. This Purusha is the reflective knower of the intellect. Neither he is similar nor extremely dissimilar to the intellect. He is not similar. Why? On account of the nature of the cognitive and the incognitive spheres. The intellect is indeed changeful. Further sphere, the cow, etc., the jar, etc., that is, the cognitive and the incognitive, shows its changefulness. On the other hand, the nature of the cognitive sphere elucidates for all time the unchangeableness of the Purusha. Why? Because the intellect indeed can never be the non-receiver, and the sphere of the Purusha can never be the receiver. Hence, in regard to the Purusha, the nature of the cognitive sphere is ever established. Thence also the unchangefulness. What more? The intellect is possessed of the interest of the other on account of its action by combination. The Purusha is possessed of the interest of his own. Similarly, on account of having the nature of the determinative causes of all objects, the intellect consists of the three energies, and having the quality of the three energies, it is unconscious. On the other hand, the Purusha is the supervisor of the energies, so he is not similar. Then let him be dissimilar. No, he is not extremely dissimilar. Why? Although he is pure, he becomes the agent of notion. As the notion enters into the intellectual, the Purusha, instrumentally seeing it, appears to be of that nature, although he is not the same. So also it has been said, in fact, the power of the enjoyer is unchangeful and unmoving. Further, with the relation to the changeful object, that power follows this function as it were changed into this. Moreover, this is said to be the operation of the consciousness, and is in fact unqualified by the intellectual function. Simply imitates the operation of the intellect that has obtained the favorite form of the consciousness. The object of sight has been explained. Now this sutra is introduced with the intent of determining what the seer as such is. The seer, who is nothing but seeing, although undefiled, looks upon the presented idea. Who is nothing but seeing means who is nothing but the power of seeing untouched by any qualifications. This self becomes conscious by reflection of the thinking substance. He is not homogeneous with the thinking substance, nor utterly heterogeneous. Why? Is not even heterogeneous? Because the thinking substance is something that enters into mutations, inasmuch as an object is known or not known. And the fact that an object, for instance, a cow or a water jar, is sometimes known and sometimes not known proves that the thinking substance is something which enters into mutations, whereas the fact that in the case of the self, its object is always known proves that The self does not enter into mutations. Why? Because it surely is not possible for the thinking substance to be an object to the self and at the same time be something now comprehended and something again not comprehended. Hence it is proved that the self always knows its object, and from this it follows that the self does not enter into mutations. Moreover, the thinking substance exists for the sake of another, since it acts by combining causes, whereas the self exists for its own sake. Thus, the thinking substance is a complex of the three aspects, because it determines each thing. And since it consists of the three aspects, it is inanimate. The self, on the other hand, is that which later beholds the aspects. Hence, it is not homogeneous with it. Then, suppose the self to be heterogeneous. It is not early heterogeneous. Why? Because though pure in itself, the self beholds the presented ideas, that is to say, it beholds that which is the presented idea of thinking substance. Looking upon this, the self seems to be it, although it really is not it. And in this sense it has been said, for the power of the enjoyer enters not into mutation, nor unites. Seeming to unite with the thing in mutation, it conforms itself to the fluctuation. And it is commonly termed the fluctuation of the thinking substance, insofar as it resembles a fluctuation of thinking substance that has come under the influence of intelligence. Alright, one more and then I think I'm done. Yeah, one more. Tadalta eva tirishyasya tirishiru pasya purushasya kaimaru patama pananam. Number 2. Kaima vishoyata ma pananam tirishyamiti tadalta eva tirishyasya Siva bhavati sivarupam bhavati dialtaho. Sivarupam tu purusho pururupeno pratilabhatamakam Poga Babalgal Tatayam Gritayam Purushweno na Tirishyata iti Sivarupahana dasya. Dada Dishyana Nada Dirishyana Sivarupahana Dirishyana Sivarupana Dirishyana Shahu Sivarupahana Dirishyana Shahu Sivarupahana Dirishyana Sivarupahana Dirishyana na Shahu Puraputo na tu Pinashyati. His purpose of the very self is the perceivable. The perceivable is made to take the nature of the form of action on behalf of the Purusha, who is the external form of perceptivity. His purpose is the very self of the perceivable, that is, is its very nature. This is the meaning. Its nature, however, consisting of the shape obtained by reflection from the form of the other, is not perceived by the Purusha when the interest of experience and emancipation is fulfilled. So from the loss of its own nature, it gets cessation but is not fully destroyed. The being of the object of sight is only for the sake of it. Since the object of sight is changed insofar as it becomes the object of the action of the self with so much seeing, the being of the object of sight, that is to say, the object of sight itself, exists only for the sake of the self. But inasmuch as it is itself only so long as it has acquired its being as having the form of another, it is no longer seen by the self when once it has accomplished the purpose of the self, experience and liberation. So by escaping from itself, it attains cessation, but it does not early cease to be. Kasmat kritai tam prati nashitam apya nashitam tadasya tadanyasa tharanatvat kritai tamekam purusham iti kirishyam nashitam api nasham praputamapyan nashitam Tadanya Purusha Satharanatvat Kushalam Purusham Prati Nasham Praputamapya Kushalana Purushana Prati. Yeah. Pratya Kri Pratya Prapitama Pratya Krita Tamiti Praputamapya Kushalana Purushana Prakrita Pratyakri Praputamapya Kushalana Purushana Prapatya Prapatya Praputamapya Kushalana Praputamapya Kushalana Purushana Pratya Krita Pratya Krita Praputamapya Kushalana Purushana Pratya Praputamapya Kushalana Purushana Praputamapya Kushalana Purushana Pratya Praputamapya Kushalana Purushana Pratya Krita Tamiti Praputamapya Kushalana Purushana Praputamapya Kushalana Purush Praputamapya Kushalana Puru Praputamapya Kushalana Purusha Praputamapya Kushalana Purushana Pratya Krita Tamiti Praputamapya Kushalana Purushana Pratya Krita Tamiti Na Krita Tamiti Teshwam Durisheho Kalma Vishaya Tamapananam Kalma Vishaya Tamapananam Lapata Eva Pararu Peno Tumaru Pamit Pararupena tamarupamiti. Pararupena pararupena tamarupamiti. Pararupena tamarupamiti. No natu no natama no natama no natama pararupena natamarupamiti. Pararupena natamarupamiti. Atashichan Trigadashana Shakatiyo. Trigadashana Shakatiyo. Yol Nityatavadani Nadiho. Trigadashana Shakatiyo. Trigadashana Shakatiyo. Trigadashana Shakatiyo Nityatavadana Diho. Samyogo. Trigadashana Shakatiyo Nityatavadana Diho. Samyogo Vyakhyata iti tata chokutamu taimi no manadi samyoga de taima matra no mapyana diho. Taimi no manadi samyoga de taima matra no mapyana diho. Samyoga iti. Why? Although this joy for him whose innerest has been fulfilled, it is not destroyed on account of its commonness to others. Although the perceivable is destroyed, that is, gets destruction with reference to one Purusha, whose innerest has been fulfilled, it is not destroyed on account of its commonness to other Purushas. Though it gets destroyed for the skillful Purusha, yet it has not fulfilled its duties in relation to the unskillful Purushas. So it gets fallen into the nature of the sphere of action on behalf of their perceptivity. Thus it gets its own form from that of the other. Hence, on account of the eternity of the powers of both the pure perceptivity and the perceiving instrument, the beginningless conjunction has been described. So also it has been said, by reason of the beginningless conjunction of the characterized substances, there is also the beginningless conjunction of each of the characteristics. Why? Though it has ceased in the case of one whose purpose is accomplished, it has not ceased to be, since it is common to others. Although the object of sight has ceased insofar as oneself, whose purpose has been accomplished, is concerned, it has not ceased to be because it is common to others besides him. Although it has ceased so far as one fortunate man is concerned, it has not ceased in the case of unfortunate men, since their purpose has not been fulfilled. So for these persons it becomes the object of the action of seeing and receives its form of being as having the form of another. And therefore, since the power of seeing and the power by which one sees are permanent, the conjunction is said to be from time without beginning. And in this sense it has been said, the substances being in correlation from time without beginning, the external aspects in general are also in correlation from time without beginning. Okay. Namaste.